What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of Hoggie's Quick Beer Reviews, and today I bring you, with a bit of disdain, I bring you Landshark Lager. This is today's beer. Landshark Lager, Island Style Lager. This is a 16-ounce can of the Landshark Lager from Margaritaville Brewing Company. Now, to be completely honest, I was tempted to do this as a foul beer review. And, for those who don't know, I do a sub-series of reviews that I call foul beer reviews because they're reviews of foul beers. Malt liquors and ice beers and, economy beers like Busch, stuff like that. And I was tempted to do this as one of those. But I held back and decided not to because I really wanted to do this review just to let people know really what this is, or what this really is, I should say, and to make the review be as accessible as possible. Because I think more people need to be aware of what we're dealing with here. Let me show you the widescreen look here on the can. Larger logo there, Landshark. Okay. Now, Landshark, like I said, is from the Margaritaville Brewing Company. That is Margaritaville of Jimmy Buffett fame. Jimmy Buffett made himself famous in the 70s with that song Margaritaville, and he went on to open a chain of restaurants, the Margaritaville restaurants. And this was originally created to be the house beer for the chain of Margaritaville restaurants that are all over the country. The thing is, if you were to look this up, actually it says it on the can. Brewed and canned by Margaritaville Brewing Company, Jacksonville, Florida. No. This is an Anheuser-Busch product, okay? And it's one of the reasons I wanted to do this review, because a lot of people out there are going to see that and be fooled thinking that this is some, maybe not a craft beer, but at the very least it's a small brewery, it's an independent, it's not one of the big three, it's not Bud, Miller, Coors, it's something different, and you're wrong. It's Bud. Now before I keep going further into that, let me just punch up Beer Advocate here. Beer Advocate gets a C- overall out of 293 reviews. Margaritaville Brewing Company, Florida. It's categorized as an American adjunct lager, and it's 4.7 alcohol by volume. Alright? Now, again, you go to their website and it says nothing about Bud, but if you look up Bud and if you wiki it on their wiki page, this is one of Budweiser's brands, and it's right next to King Cobra, actually. But, Landshark Lager, it's basically an American-style Corona, from everything I've heard and everything I've read, and it's marketed to be that. It comes in clear glass bottles, which is a horrible idea, but, the yellow logo, the clear bottles, island-style lager, it's kind of a Corona kind of thing, and that's what they wanted to do. Obviously, Jimmy Buffett made himself famous for the whole island living kind of thing, Margaritaville, the whole Key West, Florida kind of thing. So they tried to bank on that success, do their own beer, and of course they just paid Budweiser to do it for them. So I figured I should give it a try, and not only just try it myself to see what it is, share it with you guys so you know what you're dealing with some Landshark. Now, I've been meaning to review this for a while, and I kept putting it off because I did not want to buy the bottles. I did not want to buy a six-pack of this stuff. I don't trust clear bottles, I might get a skunky one. For those who don't know, clear bottles are not good for beer because ultraviolet light can affect the taste of the beer. It can make it go bad. It can affect the taste. It's not good for it. And that's why you see all the craft breweries, the microbreweries in this country, use brown bottles. That blocks the UV. Clear is not a good thing. And in case you didn't know, that's one of the reasons they put limes in the Corona bottles, because if it is skunky, if it does smell bad, the lime covers up the taste pretty good. So anyways, I didn't want to do it because of that reason, and when I saw the can, I jumped at it. I said, perfect, now I can finally review Landshark. So, enough talking. Let me just get right to it. Pour this guy right into what I like to call my sacrificial mug, because it's the mug I use for all those foul beers. Not necessarily why I used it this time, it just, it fits 16 ounces perfectly. And I'm already getting a smell that reminds me of Budweiser. Budweiser beers, for the most part, all the Bud brands have a very similar taste and smell to them. The Budweiser beers, the actual Bud beers, Bud and Bud Light, use rice as an adjunct. For most of their other beers, Busch, Natural Ice and such, Budweiser uses corn as an adjunct. This smells like the latter. I'm getting a whiff of that. It smells like Busch, and that's just what's wafting up. Oh yeah. Cheap pale malts, lager yeast, kind of a vegetable-y smell. It's your corn adjunct. It reminds me of Busch, like a lighter version of the Busch I had not too long ago. And I mean, it's clear as day. There's a whole lot of active carbonation in there. And although the head is a little frothier than I expected, there's still a whole lot of big bubbles in there. And it's receding relatively quick. But yeah, there's not a lot of smell to it. But again, it just reminds me of a cheaper Budweiser beer. Hey, oh wow, that aftertaste. Yeah, this tastes like a cheap Budweiser beer. I was about to say it tastes like a cheap Budweiser beer, but it's smooth, and then that aftertaste, kind of that adjuncty corn aftertaste, that is very typical of an Anheuser-Busch product, just hit me. I mean, it's very thin. It's not a lot of flavor per se. No real hops to speak of. A hint of earthiness towards the back. You get a very light, very pale, very processed kind of malt flavor in there, along with that vegetable corn flavor, which is not very pleasant. I mean, it does go down smooth. You know, it's a very light-bodied beer. I guess, you know, with a lime in the bottle and you're on a beach on a sunny day, I guess you could do this. Sure, on a Florida beach somewhere. But this is another Bud beer, guys. This is like Bud tried to do Corona, and this is what they made. You know, it's like a beach version of Busch. I'm not impressed. And to be completely honest, I consider this a gimmick beer. And you know, for anybody who thought maybe I was bashing it before I tried it, it's a gimmick. And they're already trying to fool me by telling me it's the Margaritaville Brewing Company in Jacksonville when this is Anheuser-Busch all the way. So I don't respect that. And I know Jimmy Buffett's just trying to get paid, but if I were him, I'd be ashamed to put my name on such a lackluster product. I'd rather have a Corona. At least it won't have that damn Budweiser aftertaste. There is a hint of kind of a fruity, I don't want to say fruity, but kind of a lemony kind of flavor to it. It is relatively smooth. The body is smooth. It's easy to drink, but it has that typical adjunct corn vegetable flavor to it, and that aftertaste of that same corn veggie flavor is really strong and a bit unpleasant. So don't be fooled. This is not an independent brewery. This is not any kind of craft brew or microbrew by any stretch of the imagination. This is a commercial attempt by Budweiser to cash in on Jimmy Buffett's fame and the Margaritaville fame. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Landshark Lager. Swim away from it, because it's really not worth the money. And this isn't even cheap. This is about Corona, you know, import price from what I've seen. This is not worth $7 or $8 a six-pack. So, I mean, that's it, guys. Landshark Lager. I call this a glass empty because it is not what it claims to be. Island-style lager, no, try cheap American adjunct lager, and nothing else. Regardless, though, just wanted to share that with you and just, you know, have you guys informed. So, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.